rear.
So the Premier Class, Motogp, here at Mugello. The Italian Grand Prix is go now! And off the line, Valentino Rossi absolutely steams down to San Donato for the first time already. People are screaming round here. Massive wheelie. That will have knocked off his momentum down to San Donato. Colin Edwards has just joined us in the box. He's sitting down watching this from the other side of the curtain. Oh, dear me. This is just going to be something spectacular. Maverick Vinales is in second place, and then we've got a couple of Ducatis. Lorenzo has come through from where? The third row of the grid. His worst qualifying since his rookie year, and really that is spectacular from there. I hope he hasn't got a jump start.
I'll let you know when I'm told, Keith. Dobby's right behind him, then it's Marquez.
Unbelievable, the two Hondas. So we got two factory Yamahas, two factory Ducatis, two factory Hondas out in the top six so far. Then we look back to, is that Alvaro Bautista that's there as well, as already.
Honda's on the move, Marquez on the move.
Marc Marquez, will it play into his hands? I've got to say, Lorenzo is looking a little bit racy, isn't he?
Just a little bit. Third place, number 99, the first of the Ducatis.
Right there, no wings on any of these motorcycles this year, of course. We wondered how that might affect them. Well, Ducati is still the fastest thing in a straight line, there's no doubt about that.
Lorenzo winner 5 times here in the top class.
It's Petrucci that's come up into 7th place, so watch out for Danilo Petrucci. He too is on a flyer here at the moment. Danilo Petrucci qualified in 9th place on the 3rd row. There he is, the number 9 machine. So through comes Rossi, under pressure from Maverick Vinales now. Vinales trying to line himself up for a pass, can't get there just yet, but look, he's almost riding passenger with the doctor.
Now then, Ducati's down the front straight, Keith.
Oof, obviously. It's how they get out of this corner though. Out of Buccini onto the front straight for the first time. 23 laps to go, 75 miles it is, the entire race distance. Here comes the Ducati of Jorge Lorenzo on the brakes. Valentino Rossi is going to look to try and sweep across him. He can't. Will he hold it down, Jorge? No, he doesn't. They get under him, and the undercut works for one of them, and that one is Valentino Rossi. But straight back at him, Jorge Lorenzo. Oh, the crowd are going to be going mad.
Jorge means it. Jorge really means it.
Right in front of Rossi's stand as well, Julian. That's like rubbing salt in the wound.
It is, and Vinales is getting racy behind his teammate. I use the term loosely, Valentino Rossi.
Ducati, 13 trucks are here for their hospitality. 13 trucks are here to wheel these men in and out. It's a massive event here for Ducati. This is the track they do their testing on. Michele Pirro is a man that knows his way around here. He's done about 1 million miles. But you've still got to beat the Yamahas, and Lorenzo knows how good they are around this track. How many times has he won here?
5 in the top class. Look at Vinales.
Yeah, just if you took the words out of my mouth, he's just looking like, oh, back comes Valentino, the way that Valentino does.
Where have we seen that before?
So many times just there. New helmet design for Valentino Rossi, a nod to football.
A nod to Francesco Totti, the other god of Italian sport who was just retired.
Yeah, but not in his team.
We do have a jump start, but it's Aleix Espargaro.
It just made me faint almost then,
and Aleix Espargaro qualified 12th behind Lorenzo, so that's it. They've announced jump starts in grid order, Keith. So nobody in front of Espargaro has a jump start.
That's a technical point that I never knew, Jules. Thank you for that. Grid order. Over the line then. 21 laps to go. Watch out for Marc Marquez. He's sneaking up, isn't he? He's there in 3rd. The yellow smoke has just about cleared. It'll be coming back again if Valentino. Dovizioso. Well, if he's near the trots already, he'll have them now after that one, that's for sure. Unbelievable. Ducati out of order. Maybe he's a little bit weaker than he was when he started the weekend. You know,
look at Marquez. He's about to be undercut nastily by Dov.
Dovi sweeps over Marquez.
That was Petrucci.
It was Petrucci, sorry, number 9, it was Petrucci. Dovi's still in front of Marquez.
Despite that event. This is like the Moto3 race.
I'll tell you what, we had a great Moto3 race. We had a really, really interesting Moto2 race where we all had a tear in our eye for the winner of that one. This one, though, now, I didn't think we were going to have quite the race that we are having at this early stage of these 23
laps. Isn't it the way
Ducati
need a race and a result? And motorcycle racers, sportsmen, have a habit of delivering when the pressure is really on.
Jorge Lorenzo is your man at the moment in these early stages. Here comes Valentino Rossi looking at the inside. Yes, hello Jorge, I'll have that place. And meanwhile Viñales comes through as well. So factory Yamaha's 1 and 2 now. Jorge Lorenzo has got to work hard. Next up behind him, Dovizioso. This is Viñales we're on board with now, chasing his teammate through Corintaio, I think that is. Then we've got
3 Ducatis.
Biondetti 1, and then the flip for Biondetti 2. Yamaha lead, and Viñales has got really big drive down towards Puccini really now, the last corner here. Can't get there just yet. It's going to be interesting at San Donato, turn 1. This is the last corner on the course, 15. Now then, getting the drive.
Will the Ducatis get up to them?
Yeah, they will. Absolutely they will.
How many of them?
Yeah, but not up to them, but not past them, I think, with that kind of lead they've got.
And there goes Viñales.
Around the outside. Oh, going to get past one of them. Oh, it gets in another bit of a head shake there as Valentino jumps on the brakes and gets in there late, I was going to say, and he did pull it back to the apex. That was fantastic.
And here comes Dovi, weak or not, he is fighting.
It was shaking its head again, though, over the line. Without those wings on the front to keep them stable, the bullet Ducati can't quite get over that hump down towards turn 1 in a neat and tidy manner. Looking back at Maverick Viñales.
Fastest lap of the race set by Maverick last time round.
Got a feeling that's going to fly out the window.
I think you're right.
Keep an eye on lap records as well, because really track temperature has come up, but there it is, 48.1. What is the lap record around here for a Motogp bike? 47.6, just to give you that. Marc Marquez, 2013.
Yeah, quite a while ago.
Again, it comes down to the weather quite a lot. If it was a bit cooler then, that might have given him a bit more performance in the race.
Here comes Maverick.
Under pressure, Valentino, and there he goes. Top Gun goes through, but Valentino looking ready to snap back straight at him. He always says to stop them getting their rhythm, you've got to snap straight back at them.
Says he learnt it from Troy Bayliss. Dovi is looking very assured there in 3rd place.
He's frightened me twice. He's about to frighten the factory Yamahas, I have the feeling. 0-4 is Dovi, of course. Then it's Lorenzo, Petrucci, Marquez, Pedrosa, Iannone, Zarco up to 9th, Bautista Pirro down in 11th, Crutchlow 12th at the moment.
A little bit of a gap in front of Cal, 3/4 of a second up to Pirro.
Sam Lowes is 20th, Bradley Smith 23rd.
Where's Scott Redding? 15th.
Yeah, I didn't see him. Oh, he's got a point at the moment. He's having not a great weekend, Scott, I don't think. Here we go again, though. It is Ducati lane.
Dovi has split the Yams.
But Rossi on the brakes down into San Donato. This turn 1 is an absolutely devastating corner.
He holds it. Dovi pushed back again.
60 mile an hour, second gear building up to 70 mile an hour in Luco. This turn left, and there is the ride through for the 41 Alicia Spargro. Jumping a start. That Aprilia, they chucked a new motor at that. It's got 17 horsepower more. Sam Lowes has got a modified motor as well, not quite as good as the one Alicia's got.
I think he's got the one Alicia used to have.
Which must have done his brain a whole load of good.
But it's still an advance on what he had last week.
But not as much as your teammate. Believe me, Jules, as a rider, that makes a big difference.
I know.
Here we go, then jump start. Watch for Aleix. Was it a big jump start? Did it give him any kind of advantage? Oh, yes.
Is the answer to that, I'm afraid.
That was Lorenzo-esque.
Yeah, that one is guilty, my lad.
On board with Rossi. Looking back at Maverick Viñales as the Ducatis build for a big lunge down towards the first turn. Dovi came through, but then ran a little wide, and then it was the 99 of Jorge Lorenzo that started to bully his way to the top 3. This is over the top of the hill, down 220 odd mile an hour, down towards turn 1. It's no good having your front wheel in the air. You need it to stop in a minute. Not even in a minute, in a second. While
we've been watching the replays, Petrucci has got past Lorenzo.
Petrucci's properly on a run, isn't he?
There he is,
the number 9 in 4th place. Marquez is having a struggle. He's got Iannone on him now. Iannone on 29 on the Suzuki. He was the one that...
Where did he qualify?
Trouble.
16th.
He had tummy trouble, didn't he? Before at the beginning part of the week. You might have seen him at the press conference on Thursday.
And then he
suddenly disappeared halfway through it.
We wondered whether he got bored. In fact, he was rather preoccupied.
Fastest lap, Rossi, 47.8.
Here we go again.
Rossi looks so good on the brakes down here in the San Donato.
Dovi goes wide, but holds it this time.
Well, you're coming there at, 10 mile an hour faster than anybody else, so normally you would have to brake a little earlier, but the Ducati doing a good job. There's another one. That's a 2017 bike that Petrucci is on, of course. It's not the factory, well, it is a factory bike, 2017 version, but you would think perhaps not quite as advanced as the 04 or the 99.
Run by the official satellite team, Pramac, which is much closer to the Ducati factory than it used to be.
There's your tyres, medium for Dobby. Now, will they run out as we get later in the race? Just missed Lorenzo. I think he had a hard front, didn't he, Lorenzo?
I'll have a look at the medium front, medium rear, I'm told, for Jorge.
Okay, that must have been my eyesight.
This is what Todozzi told us, all three of them.
Yeah, are on mediums. Back with Rossi from Dovizioso in front of him. Dobby in second place. Now we look back to the second place man, but out front, the man who leads this championship, Maverick Vinales, beat himself up massively on Friday. A real big off at Arrabbiata 2. We were all talking about the corner you wouldn't really want to fall down on. Arrabbiata 2 is one of them, that's for sure. You're talking, what, 95, 100 mile an hour at the apex of that, and he crashed between them, so he'd have been doing something like 120 mile an hour when he jumped off it. He crashed between Arrabbiata 1 and 2, which is like the uphill flat squirt, and he got to the curb and lost the front end, and it spat him on the floor.
It thumped him down hard, didn't it? We're on board with Rossi, looking at Dovizioso and Vinales in the distance.
We know Rossi is a great engineer of a race on a Sunday. Vinales, though, is just finding his feet, isn't he? 47.6, that's the fastest lap of the race so far for Maverick Vinales, your race leader, and that is going to take some coming back from.
And Rossi
back up the hill.
47.9. It was that.
That was Lorenzo out massively wide, and that's let Marquez through.
That's fifth place for Marquez.
Yeah, courtesy of Lorenzo's mistake.
Indeed.
Which I have to say, it's a phrase that I didn't think I'd be making much of. Lorenzo's mistake. He hardly makes that many.
Rossi was only 47.9, a third of a second slower than the two in front of him last time round.
Yeah, well, the problem being as well, with a race this long, Jules, that injury that Rossi's got, I know we've made light of it, but, you know, his right arm was hurting a little bit.
Which he didn't expect. That was a new effect.
You know, breathing is going to be hard when you've had a smack in the chest like he has.
Yep.
It's all very well putting in quick qualifying times, quick free practice times, but when it comes to a long race...
And there's 17 more laps to do.
He might well be pacing himself at the moment. Yep. Not doing bad for a man pacing himself, I've got to say.
And he, of course, is the man with the race brain and the experience to do just that. He said on Saturday, maybe I have to ration myself. On Friday, sorry, at his debrief. Maybe I just have to ration my effort.
And not taking anything away from anybody else, but Vinales, with that smash that he had as well, you can be sure he's hurting also. So we've got three injured men up front. One stomach is not acting in the manner that he would expect it. That's the Ducati man, the Vizioso. Let's take another look. Oh, right out wide on the berm, wasn't he? Lorenzo got massively in hot there.
Lucky that Bautista didn't get him as well.
Lucky, right out there on the dirty stuff. Lucky he managed to find the grip to get back round. Gigi Dall'Igna, ex of Aprilia, now of Ducati. This means a lot to them here. Massive amounts here. And at the moment, it's Dobby who's closing down.
And he is closing down.
Well, you would expect it at that point.
Is Petrucci closing Valentino down? No, the gap's staying about the same.
These two might be just escaping, Jules, which is giving you that visual that's beginning to think that Valentino's being shut down. Hard front and rear for Maverick Vinales. That bodes well for later in the race. So, look at that. Past the Valentino Rossi stand.
That's the highest point of the track up here.
Short shoot now. You've got a lot of elevation changes here. Fast S's they are. They look like chicanes when you look at them from a long way off, but they're not. They're fast S's.
I'm not being encouraged by the Hondas, are you? Marquez can obviously not
all week. Not all week.
Yep.
Danny Pedrosa was the best Honda.
Yep.
Cal Crutch, though, has struggled this week as well. He put some of that down to himself, but you've got to say that the Honda didn't help him any. They don't like the harder construction tyre with the soft compound, which they've got to run. It says the compound's too soft. The construction's right, but the compound's too soft on it to make the Honda work properly. And when you've got Marc Marquez in one of his worst qualifyings for some time...
Yeah, running the medium front.
Yeah, when he would normally run
the hardest thing is he always tends to run the hardest thing in the truck. And he's been on the floor, he's been across the sand trap, he's had a couple of major moments, and there he is, pretty much...
Bautista's come to play. He's got in front of Iannone now, so Bautista's come up. That's Zarco next man up.
Zarco with him as well.
Got to say, man of this match for me so far is Petrucci. No, Petrucci.
A good call. who should have started on the front row.
Yeah.
But he got a penalty for course cutting. Here we go. No, we don't.
Ducati. Still got to get it stopped. Isn't Dobby smooth?
Isn't he just?
Just beautifully smooth. There's Zarco on bike 5 up behind 29. Andrea Iannone, man
like
that was sick earlier in the week.
An old Moto2 punch-up.
That should be red hot with Iannone in it. That's for sure. People were saying, why do so many people get sick in the paddock here? We've had a few wipeouts this year already. I've got to say, facilities are not exactly the most, what's the word I'm looking for?
Salubrious.
In places. Plenty of plastic phone boxes for use of, for want of a better phrase.
Yes.
And by the time you get to day 2 or 3, use your imagination. We're on Petrucci now, bike number 9.
I think you're right. He is steadily closing down the front 3.
Yeah, this could be one of the upsets of the year.
Fastest man of the front 4 by a tenth or 2 was Petrucci last time round.
Petrucci won the 2017 Ducati over Scott Redding for courtesy of performances done last year. Whichever one of them ended up at the end of the year with the most points, they were going to get the 2017 version. Scott Redding has struggled this week so far on the older bike, but Petrucci, to his credit, has made the most of having that 2017 bike. You come from nowhere. The power band on these bikes is so incredibly wide. It's just, for an old school two-stroker like me, it just is...
The jealousy in your voice at times is...
You still got to ride them.
Yep.
Which is, I'm not making that to sound easy at all, but fact of the matter is they've got beautiful power bands on them.
Pulling from way lower down the rev band than your 750 or 500 multiple two-strokes ever did.
Listen to this.
Petrucci a little slower this time round.
Off the throttle down into San Donato. We're looking at Maverick Viñales under a load of pressure. And I'll tell you what, the Vizioso on the 04, this is going to be incredible. I mean, an Italian on an Italian bike at Mugello, putting Maverick Viñales, championship leader, under pressure. That is something that the fans are going to go wild over.
Last Italian to win an Italian Grand Prix on an Italian bike. Do you want to guess?
Go on, put me out of my misery.
Gianfranco Banera.
Gianfranco Banera. I went to see him in 1973 at Mallory Park.
That's how long ago it was since... And he won on an MV,
I wasn't even old enough to go on a motorbike then.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Is that a fact?
I know so, because Giacomo Agostini told me.
Do you know what? I would have gone for Giacomo Agostini.
Well, that was the obvious bet.
Banera. Yeah, it was the obvious one, but it was too obvious for you to be trying to trip me up.
Yeah, Ago was to Yamaha by then.
Incredible. Gianfranco Banera. Anyway, back with 2017 instead of the black and white dark ages.
You're not kidding.
That would be something special, wouldn't it?
Now, Dovi said yesterday, Keith, that no one can go at 100% in this race in these conditions.
Look at Jorge Lorenzo getting caught up behind Valentino Rossi.
Blimey, yes.
That was what I was looking at, the picture to your left.
I was looking at the Yamaha of Maverick shaking about all over the place.
Yeah, but it was, for me, the worrying point there was Lorenzo closing down Valentino. Anyway, that was then, this is now.
Yeah, Dovi's saying that you will have to be careful with your effort. You can't go flat out for 100% of the time.
This is your Pramac team. A lot of effort they have put in. Huge effort.
Their man is 4th at the moment.
This is Alvaro Batista. He's had a good week so far, and he's in front of Marc Marquez. He's caught and passed Marc Marquez. So
Zarco's in front of Lorenzo as well.
Alvaro on the Pull&Bear Aspar Team Ducati, the old one.
Yep.
Has got in front of Marc Marquez. Marquez is having a proper struggle around this racetrack this week, isn't he?
It's what we were saying earlier, Keith. It looked like Le Mans for Marquez all over again. Here's the move.
Yeah, beautiful move down that straight. Well, the Ducati, even the old one, has got a fair bit of horsepower, so it's made its way past the Honda.
And Alvaro's not shy.
As he's proved on many occasions.
Indeed.
Got to say, Marquez has spent quite a lot of time in the sand trap. I mean, we saw that picture of him earlier on where he lost it at the end of the straight. There is Aspar himself.
Fastest man last time round was Alvaro Bautista. Remember, was it Argentina? Where Alvaro, the closing quarter of the race, was steaming up the order.
Zarco's all over Lorenzo. Hello, Johan. And we know he's not shy. Doesn't matter who it is in his way. So Zarco goes through on the Yamaha then and moves up to 7th place.
How big's the gap in front of him? About a second to Bautista, who's going away from him.
Going to be interesting to see how that balance of tyres that he's got on there, how they work later on in the race, because he's used soft and soft, front and rear, throughout the week so far, and he's gone with that harder rear tyre. Has he put a medium on the back then, has he?
Zarco.
Yeah, he's gone for the white
Zarco has gone for a hard on the rear and a soft on the front.
Well, he's changed the balance of that motorcycle. Be interesting to see. It's working for him so far. Over the line we go then. 12 laps to go. Viñales, Dovizioso, Rossi, Petrucci. Then it's Bautista up into 5th place in front of Marquez. And look at Petrucci.
He's getting closer and closer, Keith.
He is going to be the man, isn't he? This could be the race of his life.
And beating even Silverstone the other year.
216 miles an hour. Petrucci on the front straight. He's on a Ducati, remember? And the Yamaha just a little bit off of that, 211. I say a little bit, sounds like a little bit if you were driving a road bike, but the fact of the matter is that's an eternity when you're on a race bike.
Indeed.
To have something that much faster than you. Ducati before have been very, very quick on this front straight. We wonder how it would be without the wings holding them down.
Rossi's got the hurry up. He knows Petrucci's on the way.
Yeah, he's got to deal with the man in front, Dovizioso, and I must say, down has gone Aleix. She's in the dirt trap. I don't think he's gone down, actually. I think he's just run out wide. So that's a trip down pit lane, now one through the sand pit. He ain't going to be happy.
No, he's way off the back of the field behind Sylvain Gintoli.
Sylvain, of course, again, deputising for Alex Rins, who's still recovering. Sylvain will be doing Catalunya next time out as well. He picks the good ones to do, doesn't he? Not. They're the hardest ones out there. This place and Catalunya.
Here comes Valentino, the second wind.
Well, I think you've already quite correctly pointed out, Jules, is that the number 9 is closing Valentino down. He will have seen that on his board. And he knows what his pace is. Is his pace at this point in the race as quick as Valentino can go?
And as you said, there is an injury. Is he making sure he conserves a bit of energy and strength?
Well, if his teammate isn't getting away at the front,
then
you would say
that's okay, yes.
So, Petrucci, now then, as we get onto the front straight, 11 laps to go. Is Petrucci going to make a move on Valentino? He didn't line himself up for it. He's quite happy to sit behind Valentino for another lap at least, but he's closed him right down now. These men all in the 48s. The man in the 47s is Petrucci. Petrucci is the only man out of all of the riders out there that's in the 47s around this racetrack. So the mover and shaker. What tyres has Petrucci got on? Medium, the same as all the other
Danilo
Ducatis.
Petrucci has a hard on the front,
so
and
he's
a medium on the rear.
So he's out of sync with the factory Ducatis.
Lights, yeah.
That's interesting. He might well have made the right choice, Jules, over the factory team.
We've seen it with the Yamahas before now, and yet again you see he's taken another few bike lengths out of Valentino.
These 4, it's anybody's at the moment.
Completely.
A lot of laps left, and we don't know quite, long run-wise, with the temperature being at this level, what it's like.
It is significantly different from anything they've dealt with this weekend.
Cloud looks like it's covered over again, Julian, so track temperature will be down, certainly from qualifying.
And the Hondas aren't liking this, are they? One little bit.
Well, they haven't had a great week anyway.
No. I mean, over the line, Marc Marquez was 4.3 seconds behind the leader. And there, the front for Dovi.
Tell you what, Dovi,
he could go past on the straight when he wants to. You have the feeling.
He's absolutely comfortable where he is, isn't he? And he's not going to want to show Maverick the way round. He's comfy where he is in second place. There's the championship as it is at this point if they slung the flag out now. Yeah,
if you're Dovi, you don't show your hand, do you?
Dovi, only 36 points. Off on the lead. Off of Viñales, if he finishes as it is now.
He can go with Maverick, can't he? Like you say, he just looks comfortable. Is he going to go here?
He's coming around the outside down into San Donato. He's going to have to wipe his nose, and he's done it. He's got to pull it down to the apex yet, though. Is he going to do that?
Just about.
Late apex through this corner anyway, generally. Davide Todozzi, there's Paolo Giavatti there to the right at the back with the perfectly coiffed hair.
That was a slow lap by Viñales standards in the 48s.
Yeah, maybe he has just let Dobby
Was
through.
that just...
Yeah, maybe he hasn't been able to make the break, so OK. Dobby, you do a little work out front. Viñales is a clever man.
Marquez has just done a 47.9, his personal best lap of the race, but that isn't faster than Bautista in front of him.
Tell you what, look at this. It might not be Valentino Rossi out front, but it's an Italian, and he's on a Ducati.
Now, did Rossi win on a Ducati? He won on a Ducati in Spain. I'm just wondering if I've dredged up a bit of out-of-date information. Excuse me for a minute.
While you do that, hold the line cooler, and through comes 04. The power of the Ducati, some 8, 9, 10 mile an hour, depending on the slipstream, how much he got down that front straight. As I've said before, it's not critical, but it does help still. They've got so much horsepower, these things, it's more about sticking the stuff to the road than it is to find a gap in the air in front. Closing it down. Dobby's getting away from Maverick Viñales. Rossi is still right on top of his teammate, and it's still Danilo Petrucci, the number 9, in 4th place at the moment. Behind them, Alvaro Bautista has got Marc Marquez for company, and through goes Petrucci. Petrucci now has made the move on Valentino Rossi. Oh, Danilo Petrucci, that's got the Pramac team stood up on their chairs.
If Ducati have had a tricky year so far, Keith, everything will be forgiven.
Well, Cal Crutchlow said the front tyre compound is not good enough for him on the Honda. Oh, feet dragging, everything going on there for Petrucci. He did everything but throw his all run wide. I thought he was going to make that pass as well and follow Dovizioso. Well, he had something in hand, didn't he?
He did.
I was about to say, Cal Crutchlow said the front tyre compound is too soft. They want Ducati to win here, yeah, he said with a grin on his face.
And he laughed afterwards.
I think he was joking.
I think so. Well, you voted for the tyre.
But the fact is, right now, Dovizioso out front is actually underlining what Cal Crutchlow said earlier in the week.
And Petrucci looking very, very racy in 3rd place.
Well, who would have expected that, Julian?
Good question.
Obviously not you. From the 3rd row of the grid,
yep.
Danilo Petrucci, not just the 3rd row of the grid, but 9th. So, in other words, the back of the 3rd row.
But he did, in qualifying, he had a time good enough for the front row, but he got done for exceeding track limits.
Well, that was Danilo Petrucci, 9th place on the grid. Even that is his best dry weather qualifying result since Aragon last year. So, even with that penalty.
My Gianfranco Banera quote, Keith.
Yep.
Right, an Italian from Ravenna on a bike from Bologna, leading the Japanese Yamaha, and then Danilo Petrucci.
Oh, Petrucci's through! Whoa. Petrucci's gone through on Maverick Viñales. It's a Ducati, factory Ducati on top of an independent team, factory Ducati, and there's no way that Maverick is going to out-drag him down this front straight, that's for sure. All he'll do is stay with him and try and mug him at the end on the brake. But once again, that Ducati picks the pace up at the end of the 3/4 mile. That's what Ducati does. It keeps driving.
Yeah, you took me out to the back straight at Aragon. First year we're going to watch this, and the Ducati just keeps on driving
that
for an extra second or two.
Well, that's the fact, isn't it? You need horsepower to push it through the air.
Yep.
Now then, that was Maverick out a little wide. That's why, and through came Danilo Petrucci to take that.
Thank you very much.
Put himself in place to get it, though, and he's in play now, and he's now playing shotgun for the factory Ducati of Dovizioso. How sick is he? That's the question. Paul Espargaro's retired on the KTM.
A new chassis they've been using this weekend.
How different is that? There he is.
Not very, but it put the adjustment all back in the middle, if you know what I mean.
You've been talking to your old mate, haven't you?
Yeah, and Bradley Smith as well.
Through we go then. What a race this is. Who would have put Danilo Petrucci in the hunt? And he's got the right tyres on.
Yes.
I reckon.
By which you mean the front hard and the rear medium.
Going to be very interesting to see where he is in another 7.5 laps. We're looking at, from Marquez, we're looking at Alvaro Bautista on the number 19. There's the 93 of Marc Marquez. Marquez only 6th. Crikey, you have to go back a while to find him doing that.
I'm just having to think about that. There he is behind Bautista.
And Bautista has the horsepower down the front straight to keep him at bay. Meanwhile, Rossi now in 4th place. He's looking to see if he's at least got a podium out of this.
He's got a gap of 3 seconds behind him to Bautista. Bautista, though, was a 10.5 second, 10.5 quicker last time round than Valentino.
7 laps to go. Dovi still got it covered at the front and got a nice little lead. It is 0.461 of a second lead over Petrucci in 2nd place. Danilo Petrucci.
Who, of course, has a career best finish of 2nd, wasn't it, at Silverstone in the wet.
He's a great rider, but you wouldn't have put him, would you? Maybe you would.
No, you probably. Maybe we should have done.
Maybe we should.
Maybe we should have done. He had a couple of crashes on the first day, but that doesn't. Here's the pass.
This was the opportunity that Maverick, well, gave him, effectively, and he took it. Thank you very much. I don't need another invitation. You left the door open, I'll walk my way right through it. And through came another Italian, so an Italian 1-2 on Ducatis. Oh, it doesn't get much better, does it?
It doesn't. Two 2017 bikes, but a factory team bike and a satellite team bike.
And there he is, trying to get that front back on the ground, using the rear brake to try and steady it up and bring it back onto the ground. Can't brake until it's on the floor, and then you've got to wait for it to squidge out and give you that big fat contact patch into turn one. Oh, they howl, don't they, these Ducatis now, both of them together. Synchronicity.
Bautista is catching Rossi, but not quickly enough, Keith. I can't see to take fourth place off him.
It's what Viñales has got left in the locker that's intriguing me. Has he got anything there at all? He's running it as wide as he can out on the paintwork. Danilo Petrucci is looking really, really smooth.
Will he have a go at the factory bike?
No. Aleix Espargaro has just come down pit lane. That's only a guess, by the way. There's not any knowledge attached to that. But I would suggest that would not be a great career move. And by the way, I think Dobby's got
it
the
covered.
pace
Yes.
to keep it that way.
Yeah, it's Viñales versus Petrucci is the interest at the moment.
Yeah, and Viñales is mugged into going wide again, trying to outbrake the faster Ducati, trying to make it all up on the brakes. You get a bit greedy. The Ducati's faster in a straight line, so you're trying to make it all up on them in the brakes at the end of the straight. There is Aleix Espargaro. Disappointing weekend for him now. That Aprilia had massive potential this weekend, and really he's not helped it out.
Have a quick look down the where's Bradley Smith 21st, Sam Lowe's 22nd.
Crutchlow's going good.
Crutchlow's up to 11th.
In front of Pedrosa.
And Scott Redding is 14th. Crutchlow in front of Pedrosa.
In front of Pedrosa.
Oh,
so the
factory
Honda, because Maverick was trying to make it up on the brakes, Jules.
Yep.
It's the only place when you've got a fast motorcycle around you that you can't do anything other than try and
turn
pitch a yard at the
turn
end.
one is the big braking effort.
And Petrucci closes Dobby down. Dobby's strength over a full race distance of 75 miles. Really, that's the bit that... what my point is, Jules, his physical strength. If he is dehydrated, if he has the trots, as we've somewhat flippantly, or I've somewhat flippantly called it, I mean, if he is ill, he is ill. Anyone that's had it before...
He had a really, really disturbed night. Shall I put it that way?
So he's had no sleep.
Yep.
He's feeling not sick, perhaps, but certainly...
Dehydrated.
The dehydration...
They'll have had him on a drip if that's the case.
But you've still got to have the strength, the muscle one, and Ducati is a tough bike to ride.
Yes.
You need strength.
And all the fast changes of direction here will need strength.
Although maybe it's a little easier without the wings. The wings used to put more stress on them, of course. So, 5 laps to go. Still Dovizioso in charge of Petrucci, who's closed it down a little bit, but Viñales is right there as well.
Rossi.
So is Rossi.
The fastest man of the leading four last time round, Valentino Rossi.
Bautista still in 5th place, but 2.8 seconds off of Rossi's time. And Marquez is another, 2/10 further back on Bautista.
Rossi's the one who's charging here, half a second quicker than the leader last time round.
Oh, look, you can feel the tension, can't you, in the Rossi stand up there, all the yellow that's there. Bautista, bike 19, has an advantage over Marc Marquez. Marquez needs to make the pass if he can. The championship at the moment, well, if you look at it, Viñales from Pedrosa, from Rossi, from Marquez only in 4th place on 58 points. Only one win for Marquez this year so far.
Maverick thinking very hard, looking very hard for the gap. Can't find it. The Ducatis are running really well. The disappointment is that Lorenzo is down in 9th.
You would think, wouldn't you, that Lorenzo, for me, is off the radar a little bit. He's still getting that Ducati where he wants it to go. Dovizioso surely was always going to be the man here at Mugello. He's got great form round here. He's been on the Ducati all this time. That surely would count. Lorenzo's a great rider and perhaps should be up there.
But it takes the Ducati as a very different animal from the thing on which he won 5 times around here in Moto Grand Prix. Here comes Maverick.
I tell you what, though, he's having a struggle with it, isn't he?
It's not easy, is it?
You would really think that he would be able to get that M1 underneath the Ducati. And once they get on this straight, so Buccini onto the front straight, now we go. Out of the dip. Gets great drive, the Yamaha does, but he's never going to pass the Ducati in a straight line without slipstream.
You sure?
Do you know what? What happened there? Did Petrucci get that thing lit up or something? Because there's no way that a Yamaha with 10 mile an hour in hand would pass it.
Petrucci has a quick look, sees Valentino's there as well.
Lorenzo said this year about last year that the reason he was able to beat the Honda to the line when Marquez had all that drive out of Buccini is Marquez's bike just lifted slightly, and he had to just get out of it. Just lifted under power out of Buccini as they got into the pit lane exit. And I'm wondering just then whether the Ducati just got a little bit too lively, and that gave Viñales the opportunity to pass him in a straight line.
Indeed, Dovi has got over a second now in hand on the three chasing him.
Lorenzo said about last year's win, it was the most surprising win he's ever had in his career. He never expected to be able to pass Marquez by the line, and I wouldn't have expected a Yamaha to pass a Ducati in a straight line either. But if we just saw it, this Mugello has everything. If you've not seen the Moto3 race yet, you've not seen the Moto2 race yet, you are going to have to watch them. If you only watch the MotoGP race normally, when you've recorded it, you must not miss those two out.
No, you're shortchanging yourself if that's what you do.
You need to make the effort and the time. Take a morning off work.
You have to tell the boss we told you.
Right. Has Maverick Viñales now got the rhythm with 3.5 laps to go to catch Andrea Dovizioso?
Good question. And can Valentino catch and pass Danilo Petrucci?
Is Danilo Petrucci making mistakes? Didn't look like it, but I'm still wondering how, and we haven't had a replay to give us any clue, how Maverick Viñales passed him on the front straight. Hammer down.
3 to go.
Just 3 laps to go. 3.2 miles this racetrack is, around 15 unbelievably beautiful corners in an unbelievably beautiful part of the world. And right now, everyone will be on their feet willing an Italian on an Italian bike to win. The only other option that they have is the man in 4th place to win, just because he is Valentino Rossi.
Dovi last night talked about conserving and rationing effort. He just did a 48.0, a couple of tenths quicker than anybody else in the leading group.
Can Maverick Viñales close down Dovi? Dovi is looking he's looking Dovi.
He's looking like Dovi, exactly. You have to have a stopwatch to realise he's going fast, don't you?
He is so incredibly smooth. He has the experience on that motorcycle. Dovizioso is looking like a race winner, but we know how it can go wrong. Look at that consistency through his lap times.
Yeah, that'll do. Brilliant. And there's been pass and repass in amongst those lap times, don't forget.
Andrea Dovizioso, 2.5 laps to go. He's not had a podium finish in Italy since he joined the Ducati factory team. So this is a very special moment in time.
This is turning into a lovely day for Italy.
And we can enjoy this. It's certainly not turn 1.
Viñales has got the lead down to under a second at the 3rd Inter. I know you're going to tell me to wait to the start finish.
Yeah, well, it's just the overall lap gives you a clear view of where we are. I think Marquez is lining himself up to mug Alvaro at the end and try and pick off a few points for 5th place.
That'll be worth watching, because Alvaro certainly won't give it him.
You know he will. 2 laps to go then. As we come to the line again, it goes past our commentary position, over the line. Dovizioso, what's the gap?
It's down from 1.1 to 0.8.
Yeah.
47.8 by Viñales.
But we've still got plenty of lappage left to go. So again, Maverick Viñales in very hot there, runs a wide line on the way in, picks up the apex on the way out. We're at Luco now.
Lorenzo and Pirro have both gone past Iannone.
Closing in. Iannone on the Suzuki, just struggling a little bit late race distance, but it's about whether this man has absolutely judged his tyre performance to perfection. And the 2nd place man, Maverick Viñales, has enough to close down Dovizioso. You're not going to panic, Dovi. He knows how to lead a race. He has had a superb career, but at Ducati, he has been made the number 2 by the hiring of Jorge Lorenzo. And Jorge Lorenzo, down in 8th place at the moment, is looking a shadow of his great self.
Another 1/10.5 taken out of Dovi Viñales in the first half of the lap.
You know it's all going to come down. Last lap on that front straight. Dovi has got to work hard to really keep this distance. If he gets to within striking distance, you know the Yamaha, you know Maverick Viñales, you know they will try and make a pass on Andrea Dovizioso. He is gritting his teeth. Once you get this close, you just find momentum. You're just finding where you can close him down, inch by inch. And once you get close enough, you're going to make a strike, that's for sure. Maverick Viñales is young enough, quick enough, talented enough to try and make a last lap strike if he's close enough. Here we go then, last corner, Buccini, 15, turn 15, onto the front straight. 1 lap to go when he crosses the line. Andrea Dovizioso looking to get onto the podium for the first time in his Ducati factory career, looking to make it the top step. If he does it, down the gearbox we will go then, into turn 1, San Donato. Where is Viñales? How far behind is Maverick Viñales?
He's a tenth further back than he was last time.
Too far. Same line it is.
Yep.
Dovi's got to hold it together for just 3 more miles, and he is going to win the Italian Grand Prix. As an Italian on a Ducati, surely luck will be with him to hang on in there to the end of this race. Dovizioso has the mark of Maverick Viñales.
He does, and so often luck has deserted Andrea Dovizioso in his Ducati career, but this is the vindication of all vindications.
Even the Valentino Rossi stand is up on their feet and firing the fireworks already. It's the last lap of the Italian Grand Prix. It's an Italian motorcycle leading it with Italian steering it, and surely Dovizioso, well, they hired Jorge Lorenzo to do just this, but in the end it's Andrea Dovizioso that's going to do this. As we come to the closing stages then, Maverick Viñales is too far away to strike, barring a massive mistake by Andrea Dovizioso, and he's not noted for them, that is for certain. Danilo Petrucci, remember, is another Italian on another Ducati. He's in 3rd place at the moment. Rossi is only in 4th place. He surely will be revered by the fans as usual as the GOAT. But this week, they are going to be celebrating 2 more. Oh no, down on Marquez.
No, it's Pedrosa and
Crutchlow, it is.
And Cal is not happy.
We'll work out that in just a moment, because right now we are going to celebrate with this young man, Andrea Dovizioso. The Italian wins the Italian Motogp. It is going to be Ducati's finest hour, surely, here at Mugello. Over the line from Viñales. Petrucci is a stunning 3rd place. Rossi is a brilliant 4th, considering the way this week has gone for him. Over the line will come Bautista, Marquez, Zarco in 7th place. Lorenzo should get 8th. He does. From Pirro, the factory test rider. Iannone on the Suzuki is in 10th place. And we will have to work out what happened with Crutchlow and Pedrosa. My apologies for recognising Mr. Pedrosa.
I wouldn't worry about it. Worry about the fact that Andrea Dovizioso has won at Mugello, the first Ducati win here since Casey Stoner in 09.
Yeah, but more importantly even than that, Julian, that's a stat, of course, that's important.
The first Italian.
And the fact that it's Andrea Dovizioso, for me, he's the second man.
Yes.
He's the number 2. He's not the man that gets paid the big
buck.
buck.
Look in the background, there goes Danny.
Oh, Danny did that. Danny did that and had Cal out. What are you doing? That is a rare mistake from Danny Pedrosa.
That's not Danny at all, is it?
He came from so far back, he shouldn't have even tried it.
And Danny was second in the championship. That's an appalling lack of judgment.
I'll tell you what, that's kind of underlined Cal's week, though, hasn't it, really? I feel, it's not often I feel sorry for Cal Crutchlow, but I just did.
Gigi Dall'Igna actually dancing and smiling.
Well, how much money, how much commitment, how much have they put into this?
And how much has he put on the line personally, his reputation?
I'd like to see Paolo Giabatti as well.
Yeah.
That's going to be a big celebration all round. Look at this.
Kudos to Michele Pirro as well, who's done so much work on that motorbike.
Good job from Yamaha. Not quite good enough this week, that's for certain. The man of the moment is still Maverick Viñales. He will have extended his lead, wouldn't he?
Yes. Yes, he will, won't he?
Actually, it's Dovizioso who is now second in the championship. I've just seen it on the monitor.
26 points behind Maverick.
That is incredible. Andrea Dovizioso goes second.
4 points he's made.
Rossi now is only 3rd.
Sorry, 4 places he's made up. Here's a hero.
Man of the match.
Yep.
Maybe. I don't know though. I'm struggling now.
It's got to be Dovi.
It's got to be Dovi.
Let's it's obvious.
Andrea Dovizioso, surely's man of the match. Let's find out from another man who is an ex-Ducati man who will be a tear in his eye, perhaps. Neil Hodgson.
Paolo Ciabatti, an Italian rider, Italian motorcycle, the Italian Grand Prix. What does this mean to you?
Means a lot, It's something we hoped for. And I think, Dovizioso, Andrea deserves credit because he passed a very bad night, but he was really willing to get the result. He did an incredible race. Petrucci 3rd, what can you say more?
We are so happy for you. You enjoy yourself.
Thank you, ciao.
I'll tell you what, if I wasn't English, I'd like to be Italian. I love their national anthem.
You'll have to sort your dress sense out.
Yeah, that's true. I've got no dress sense. I know your point. But I love the country. I love being at Mugello. It's my favourite race of the year, and I have to say, Dovizioso, so happy to see him do this.
Yes.
Let's go back down to Neil. Where's that tear in the eye?
Yeah, sorry guys, it's me again, but I'm here with the man who designed this motorcycle. The passion, the effort, the work, the hours. How are you feeling, Gigi Deligne?
Yeah, no, I can't believe it. I'm really, really happy. And thank you very much to Dovi, because he did a great, incredible race.
The nicest guy in the paddock as well.
Yeah, it's true. So, you know, I'm really happy for him and for all the Ducati guys.
Okay, listen, you enjoy it.
Thank you.
I'll tell you what, Neil wouldn't have been able to see what we were seeing on the screen there, as Dovi was so far out of order. I forgot about that, actually. It was right early on in the race when it all got a shake and a bit of rock and roll. But Andrea Dovizioso, yeah, the best bum in Mugello, that is for certain.
Desmo Dovi, it says on the leathers.
And it certainly is. Desmo Zedici.
He stopped, of course, in front of the
Ducati
Corinteo grandstand.
Yeah. Corinteo.
The Ducati stand that is filled by the people who build and ride the red bikes.
Tell you what, Jules, when you work as hard,
yeah,
these guys, this is what they work so hard for, and it really is not just hard work, but it's pain, dedication. You know,
Passini.
Yeah, Passini. We won't say too much about that because you might not have seen it all just yet, perhaps, but believe me, this is a special weekend for Italy.
And Bautista hung on to 5th. For the customer Ducati
team. He's a little power pocket rocket, isn't he?
That's a really good ride again from Alvaro.
So many of them this weekend.
Marquez off.
Petrucci, though, what a hero.
Brilliant.
He's going to be, sadly, he's going to be overshadowed by the fact that a factory Ducati ended up on top spot. But hopefully not, I must say, because he deserves better than that. He's done a fantastic job to finish third.
That'll be a smile when that crash helmet comes off.
What a big deal. Oof. What a big deal for Danilo
Maverick
Petrucci.
Really pleased. Kisses the front of the Yamaha.
87 starts in MotoGP, no wins. That's only one podium previously.
That was Silverstone in the wet.
So second place at Silverstone.
Yep, so this is his first dry weather podium in the class.
Not a bad job, Danilo, got to say. There is Andrea. I'll tell you what, there's a tear in his eye already. Oh, there he's had his visor up all the way on the slowing down that. Oh, look at the men in red.
Yeah.
It's a massive, we love Ducati here. They look after the press really well, look after us really well.
And it's a tiny factory by comparison with the giant Japanese.
So much investment though, Julian.
The Domenicali in the white shirt.
There with the thin white shirt is Domenicali.
The boss.
So Paolo Giabatti here. Well, you would expect Domenicali to be here, wouldn't you? The man from Ferrari's here as well. This is a Ferrari track. Well done, Valentino.
4th place.
Yeah, good job. Good ride.
And I've got to believe that fatigue from that injury had something to do with that. But there again, there was 3 very, very fast men in front of him who rode brilliant races.
Oh, if there is any words that you understand in English there that weren't appropriate, we'll apologise right now. But you can imagine the emotion that's running at Parc Ferme. Incredible.
What an Italian weekend we've had.
I'll tell you what, he finally takes his hat off, because I think there was emotion running under there already in the way you get around it as a bike race. The same as Valentino perhaps is now. You leave your hat on so that people can't stick a mic in, can't get an inappropriate shot of you.
And you don't have to answer a question because you haven't heard it.
That's exactly right. So differing emotions all the way around this paddock. Hey, Domenicali gives him a kiss. Whoa, impressive.
Good Lord.
Well,
and that is the big boss, the scary man.
This lot are going to be upset.
Very.
Repsol Honda, Pedrosa down on the deck, but Marc Marquez, he might have been there at the beginning with Maverick Vinales, but it didn't last for long, did it?
It certainly didn't, and the front end of that Honda still...
It's amazing that a Honda takes out a Honda. Cal Crutchlow being taken out by Danny Pedrosa.
And Danny Pedrosa, of all people.
It looked like Pedrosa was annoyed at Cal from the shot that we had initially. There we go, with a big drive down the outside. Oh, that was Dovi when he got it all hop, skipping and jumping.
That was scary.
It was scary. That was quite
very,
early on.
very
Lap
scary.
2, that was. So he had to regather. I think I was making some flippant comment about
yes
at the time.
But you later admitted you were scared, so I think we forgive you.
Yeah. But he didn't half get composure, didn't he, later on in that race? He absolutely led it from the front.
And from a man who had an awful night, we are led to believe, with a serious stomach complaint.
No complaints from Danilo Petrucci. We'll be hearing from him later on. I'm looking forward to checkered flag. There's Paolo Ciabatti, the other side of the barrier, but the boss is this side of the barrier.
Claudio Domenicali.
Yeah, Domenicali is so powerful he doesn't even have to dress up.
Yeah, the man who sends you emails at 4:30 in the morning and you wake up and you answer them.
He's the one you have on your phone with the loud alarm.
Yeah, he's the scary one.
Valentino Rossi fans are somewhat muted, but of course that's been overcome by the fact we've got a Ducati with an Italian on it.
And I'm pretty sure my memory is correct on this stat, that the last Italian on an Italian bike to win an Italian Grand Prix was Gianfranco Banera.
It's a remarkable stat, and I couldn't help you with it, even though I'm old enough to remember Gianfranco Banera.
I was told it by Giacomo Agostini, so I'm inclined to believe it. But it was a while ago.
Another legend, Giacomo Agostini, as we look at the legend of all time, perhaps. Valentino Rossi on the 46 machine, only 4th place for him here at the Italian Grand Prix, and of course we get the traditional track invasion. Gives the security guys an absolute nightmare to cover off. And of course all these guys, it's all very well having everybody on the track and in the paddock, but the problem being is that everyone has got to pack up to be next weekend in Catalonia, in Spain. And you can't get out of here for hours. It takes something like 5 or 6 hours to get down to the motorway. It's just no way you can get out of this place. It's on a little tiny country lane outside Scarperia, a little tiny village. It's not even a town, really, Scarperia. And there is no way out of it. You've got a 10-foot wide access road that's out the front, and that's for two-way traffic.
And I'm reckoning that Banera's win, Keith, was 1974. So an awful long time.
Sounds about right. I went to see him when I was a kid in 73 at Mallory Park.
When he was on a factory MV.
I remember it well. It was a stunning day. And there was something like, I think at Mallory Park, 65,000 people there or something.
Yeah.
And bearing in mind Mallory's only a mile round, or it was back then. Let's hear from